Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We are towards the end of this epic saga. It is turn 105, and I'm playing the nation MA-Ermor. And let's hop back into it. So, last turn a lot happened. I had won a big battle versus Nazca a couple turns ago, and I've got a bunch of really cool battles coming up. So let's get right into it. A message from Ermor. Children of Valanus, darkness falls now upon the world, and the dead will feed on the living. The squids no longer afford the breeding of endless star children, and the armies of Nazca are broken. The end is near. Meanwhile, I have cast Utterdark, which is a game-winning spell, if you can keep it up, if you're a particular race. And there's another Dire Portent. This is the Dire Portent for Arcane Nexus, which actually I should probably enter as a bug. There's no tooltip for this, and there should be. Cloud Trapeze. Okay, so let's just get right into the battles. So first, we can see that Ryla has moved on top of this fort. Can see Ryla has a Frost Fiend, so he obviously has some death access now. Or Frost Devil. Pretty scary. See, now he knows I have a big army around, so when he does this, he has to come in and kind of commit most all of his magic spells. So he doesn't have Fog Warriors, he does have Regeneration up, Arrowfend, a bunch of other things. I don't know why he's putting Arrowfend up, it's not like I have any arrows. Maybe it's like to protect his dudes from his own arrows. He doesn't really have that many archers himself, though, so... yeah, anyway. That's this army, so that's sitting now on top of this fort. Doesn't look good. Meanwhile, we had a big battle here, so let's check this out. Now, this battle I actually kind of hosed up. But I won anyway, so let's take a look. So he's going to drop a whole bunch of stuff. He's getting into a big nasty communion. He's casting Vine Arrow with a bunch of his little dudes. Okay, there went Undead Mastery, and I believe Master and Slave too. Let's check that out. Team colored squares. Okay, so I don't... Let's see. So you can see he got about probably 20% of my army, maybe? Now, unfortunately, I hadn't buffed all these guys. I really messed up my scripting. I don't know why. I think it might have been because it was this turn. And my Archbishop, who should have cast Blessing, because right now my guys are not blessed, did not bless. And I believe the reason may be... if I can ever find her. I think she was in melee contact. So I ended up taking way heavier losses than I otherwise would have. They were in Enslaved Mind. So they got some even more of my dudes. Where the hell is that lady? If I just look hard enough, I know I'll see her. It's like Where's Waldo for Dominions. Where the hell are you? Okay, so anyway, I got all my stuff off now. So I've got Heat from Hell, Army of Lead, Rigor Mortis. Oh, my guys still aren't blessed. What the hell? Okay, where are you, lady? Okay, here she is. Some of you probably have been, like, staring at her for a while. So, she apparently is not casting. I think that she was surrounded by a bunch of units, and so she must have been fighting them. So hopefully she gets them next turn. Because if I don't get my Bless down, my Sacreds kind of suck. Anyway, he's dropping a ton of stuff this fight. Like, he knew it was going to be a big fight. Yeah. Kind of the normal stuff. Okay, and there we go. Unholy Blessing and Fog Warriors. Unfortunately, I have Natural Storm. I'm not totally sure why. But... anyway. So, like, it looks right now like I'm probably going to lose. Because I screwed up my scripting really bad. It's kind of sad when you win games, even when you screw up your scripting at the end because you get lazy. You kind of feel like you don't deserve it. So he's got a big Tartarian coming in. This ugly lady. Who has 10 regeneration, which is about 20, almost 20 hit points a second. And then she's going to go berserk so she doesn't rout. She's got a lot of armor. She is feeble-minded. Okay, I'm going to skip forward a couple turns, but the basic... Well, I'm going to show you a few more things first. So the basic mechanic, I've got Rigor Mortis up, and I've got Heat from Hell. So these guys are probably going to get one more cast, and then they're all going to go Fatigue out. So I don't know if my scripting was wrong or that lady was just attacked due to the Undead Mastery spam at the beginning. We'll figure out what happened after the battle. So I'm going to skip forward a few turns. You can see that my armies are kind of plowing into them. Now that they're in close range and they're really a lot easier to hit with evocations, all his guys are fatigued out, right? So everybody is tapped out on fatigue. So if we watch how many of his folks attack or cast spells on us this turn, we'll see it's a pretty small number. And it's going to be really hard for him to kill me in melee, because my guys have 30 protection, 18 defense, regeneration, with about effectively 25 HP. Yeah, they're going to be really hard to kill. I think I also... I cast Mass Flight on these guys, but unfortunately I think I also cast Storm, because I'm an idiot, and so I shut down my own Mass Flight. It was really smart. So I'm going to skip forward a few more. You can see this Tartarian is doing quite well, even though she's fighting a few of my Sacreds. She has a few more afflictions, so she has disease now. But you can see her HP is holding steady. And... oh, I said I would show you how many spells they're getting off. Okay, so it's my turn. They're about to go. Okay, it's their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 5 spells. Pretty bad. Meanwhile, I've got my big army laying into them. So I'm skipping forward a few turns. It's a really long battle. Next. And you can see my dudes have started to make it into the back line. And now they pour forth. And there they all go. I get all of his dudes, just like that. So, kind of sucks when you win on poor scripting. But hey, I'll take it. So that was a really big battle, really important. That was his big army on this front. This is his only other big army, and then it's a... well, he has another army here. This is a large troop size army, but it is not a large army. He doesn't have many mages. So, anyway. In terms of the global situation, you can see I now have Utterdark up. This reduces the income by about 90% in all provinces, which will put almost everybody in the game where their income is less than their upkeep. So they'll have people desert, and they definitely won't be able to recruit anybody. And this will totally shut down the economy of Ryla, because he's still very, very dependent on those Star Children. Meanwhile, he has Arcane Nexus up. Now, what I did this turn was it was painful. I hardly had any Astral Pearls at the beginning of the turn due to all the dispelling I've been doing. But I alchemized every single gem I had into pearls so that I had enough to dispel. And I cast the dispel with 100 overcast. So, my goal is to take down Arcane Nexus. If I can get it down in one turn, because he put it up this turn also. If I get it down the same turn, he is going to be super crippled. I think it's going to be the end of the game. If he has Arcane Nexus up, he can do all sorts of crazy stuff with Wish and this, that, and the other. With the down, though, he doesn't have a chance. So I'm going to take Arcane Nexus down, and that will be the... If I can get it, it'll be the nail in the coffin. Meanwhile, I can storm this fort, and I am going to storm this fort. There's probably some assassins in here, so I need to send quite a few dudes. The other thing I'm going to do, which is a little trick, is I know this army's going to attack here, and he's probably going to have this army attack. Meanwhile, he's going to have the people inside come out. One of the things you can do when you have huge hordes of units is I can send a lot of them over here to attack him. And if I have more units than him, there's going to be kind of a probability roll, and I'm going to have a pretty good chance of winning that, which will mean that I end up attacking him, not him attacking me. So what that means is the battle will be here, and my army left storming the fortress will storm the fortress even if I lose this battle, which is my intention. So that's awesome. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to storm this castle here also. And then I can potentially go for this throne or go for any of these thrones and win. We're also going to be storming this castle. I don't think Nazca has much inside, but we'll find out. And I think that's it for this turn. So that was a pretty exciting turn. We had some pretty big battles. I think we're probably only going to have time for one more turn this episode. We'll do turn 106. So a message from Ryla. You talk like you have a chance, have at these scoundrel. And before this, Ryla had kind of been talking offline about... he thought that the game was going to drag on for a really long time. And I knew that if I got Alteration 9 and could drop Utterdark, that it actually was not. So, Dispel successful, and I have taken Arcane Nexus down. That's huge. So, he's really crippled. He has nothing to fall back on. It's pretty much determined now that I'm definitely going to win. And I'll be able to win quickly, actually. Finally, we have some big battles. I'm just going to go ahead and show you this. There's a big battle here. And here, this is probably the best battle you'll see this game for me, where I kind of got my scripting right finally. With a big army. So you can see he has about 60 Star Children. A few Tartarians. He's got this beautiful lady here. He's got this lady here. So this is kind of a Rain of Stones caster. Or Fog Warriors. No, he doesn't have enough for Fog Warriors. Really only Rain of Stones. What was that? Light of the Northern Star, Nether Darts, Warriors of Niflheim, Anti-Magic, Warriors of Methuselah. Okay, so there goes me. I got Mass Flight, I have Unholy Blessing, I have Protection of a Sepulchre, and I have Grip of Winter. So when I'm in fire terrain, you put up you put up, what is it called, Heat from Hell? And then when you're in a cold dominion, which I am in this case, we will put up Grip of Winter. And most of his guys, well, his guys are a little cold immune. This guy's not. I think some of them are. Yeah, this one is. I don't know why some are and some aren't. It's a good question. Anyway. But the Grip of Winter will affect all those non-cold immune guys. And I drop Hal, and then Armies of Lead, and then Rigor Mortis, and then Skeletal Legion. The Skeletal Legion doesn't help all of my guys who already have Pierce resistance, but it will help my Lictors a little bit. And I have an extra Death Gem, so might as well drop it. So these guys are now Pierce immune, which makes them a bit better. And turn 1 with Flight, we just leap in. Though unfortunately it looks like my entire army tried to circle attack this one Wisp, so it's kind of funny. So hopefully they kill it so that they can move on and kill the rest of the army. There goes Fog Warriors. And my guys scatter out here now, apparently to attack. There was, you didn't see it for a second. There was another Banefire corpse. And you can see with Mass Flight the battle's going very differently. I'm getting in much quicker and attacking. Also, my Blessing went up, so I didn't have 4 or 5 rounds of just attacking my unblessed dudes. And very quickly, they're going to be entirely surrounded. Okay. So there we go. And you can see I'm skipping forward turns now. Everybody's getting surrounded and walloped. And I've actually taken pretty few casualties for how big of a fight this was. And very quickly it's going to be down to a few Tartarians left, as well as this Lady of the Lake. Or Queen of the Sea. I guess she gave him a Shambler skin armor so she can come on land. And now it's just a few Tartarians, and they've routed. And there's only there's still 2. There's this one who just died, and this one who's tough as nails. Look at him, with hardly any gear. It's really amazing. What makes him so hard to kill here? He's ethereal. That's part of it. And I hit in a couple times. Yeah, so he fell at the end. So that was a pretty big battle. If we look at the battle report, you can see I only lost about 200, and most of those were chaff. In terms of high-quality troops, I only lost 3 lictors and 8 knights. Meanwhile, he lost everything. Right, all his mages, all his super combatants, everything. So now the game is basically over, and the rest of it's kind of a formality. Meanwhile, I did not take this fort. Oh, I wasn't even trying to take it, but he was doing this thing where he dropped this beautiful lady on top of me, and she would cast Rain of Stones. Which is annoying, because now it's going to be a little harder for me to take this fort. I'm going to be moving a lot of my guys over here to take this. Now, I could have just stormed up here to start taking this, and I might have gotten a throne victory a couple turns earlier. But I don't know. This is me being a little conservative. I probably should have moved on up to take the throne. It would have sped the game up by like 2 turns. But I decided to go here and take this first. I think I did end up ignoring this fort, but yeah, I don't know. Not super proud of that, but anyway. Meanwhile, I send a small army over here, a little army, and the reason is because I'm going to send a big army over here to fight these guys. So this is a big chaff army, but it's versus all of his... this is his final medium to small size army, which isn't going to do much. But you can see it's still well equipped to take care of a bunch of chaff. So, whoops. So I'm going to be taking this big army here, sending them here, and then they're going to run up probably over to this throne. Now, alternatively, if I get these guys on top of this fort, I could take this army, and next turn I can get it all the way here. But that's dependent on these guys being successful raiding on top of this fort. Which they may not be. I think I tried to attack inside here this turn. Oops. So I have this guy who I was thinking maybe they can do it. And you can see there's just a whole horde of troops inside Asphodel. Bunch of these big nasty behemoths. I don't really want to run in here and try to kill them all. Not really even a little bit. And they're just streaming out. They kill all my guys. I forget what happens to my thug here. I believe they kill all my guys and then my thug runs, but might die on the way out. Because one important distinction, and so one of the reasons my guys are so good against Asphodel is they're lifeless. And the Sleeping Vines actually has no effect on lifeless. Does not affect inanimate beings. However, what I didn't realize is that my thug actually is not lifeless. Which means that even though he's undead, he's not lifeless. So he is affected by Sleep Vines. So I believe he dies here, actually. Yeah, I'm about fatigued out. Oh, and I'm getting kind of raffle stomped right now. So I'll let you watch the dying breaths of this dude. So there's the charcoal shield going to work. And I heal a little bit, but I'm almost dead. This turn I'll probably die. One of the problems with charcoal shield is because when units die around you, it frees up more spots for other units to attack. You actually can take a lot more damage. So you need to be pretty careful about when you use it. So, yeah, so that was ineffective. I think my best strategy now is to... I've got a golem that I'm going to be sending up here, and I was thinking this golem might take Asphodel, but now, because he is lifeless, so he won't get fatigued out. However, now I'm kind of thinking he'll die, or he'll make it to the end of combat, and if on the last turn of combat, he'll actually die. Unless he's Berserk. So, because if mindless units are out, which he is, he'll disintegrate. So what I need to do actually is give him a Berserker, what do you call it? One of these things. Flesh Eater. And, yeah. One final thing for this turn, I am casting Burden of Time again. So now I will have 3 enchantment slots. And what that will do, I don't really need it for the Burden of Time effect, I just have a lot of death gems. Is it will fill up the 5th slot, so if he casts Arcane Nexus again, it'll bounce off one of these, which means there's a chance it will fail. So that is what I'm going to be doing. And I think that's it for this turn and it for this episode. You know, like I said, next turn this big army is going to move here, we're going to have a fight. But it's really getting to be the point where the rest of the game is a formality. So, thanks everyone for watching, and I will catch you next time.